In this video, I'm going to show you an exercise which gets your gluteal muscles firing a little bit more, waking them up a little bit more. Your glutes sit on the side of your pelvis. They attach into the bony part, the greater trochanter, on the outside of your hips. And they come from the kind of flat part at the back of your pelvis. So they run across like this, almost like a palm running across and inserting into this part here. And the reason that physios keep banging on about them is that they are really, really implicated in a lot of hip, knee, ankle, lower back pain. If they're not doing their job as well as they could be, then they can be contributing to having pain in other areas, overloading other areas of the body because the glutes aren't waking up as much as they could be. So it's usually our gluteus medius and our gluteus minimus, which we're talking about when we're talking about the glutes, which are the smaller, more deeper ones underneath the gluteus maximus, which is the big glute muscle. So the glute max, the big one, that does these anti-gravity movements, which is extending your hips, pressing yourself up away from the ground. Whereas your glute med and glute min, if you just look at them kind of in isolation, they do things like this, bringing the leg out to the side and also turning the leg out or turning the leg in. So they do abduction, external rotation, a bit of internal rotation. However, the main thing that they're actually doing day to day, because you probably don't spend a lot of time doing this in your day-to-day life, what they're doing is switching on and helping to stabilize your pelvis and keep it level when you go from standing on 2 feet to standing on 1 foot. Which again, standing on 1 foot might not be something you're doing lots day to day, but shifting your weight from 1 foot to the other, to walk, to run, to walk up the stairs, is something you probably do quite a lot. And if they're not switching on as much, then what will happen when you shift your weight onto 1 foot is your hip will drop out to the side. And all sorts of other things can happen then too, especially if you're bending your knee. The knee can drop in, the arch can drop, you internally rotate all the way along the leg. Lots of different kind of biomechanical consequences of your glutes not doing their job as well as they could be. So this exercise, you're just going to need a step and shoeless feet, ideally, so that you can really feel the ground. But you can do this. The aim is to do it little and often through the day to just build that connection, build that awareness. So a step just in bottom step of your house. I've got a little pile of books. You can do it on the step in your kitchen, outside your house. You can do it on the step on the way to take the kids to school, or a step on the way to work, or whilst waiting for the train. You just need something you can step your foot up onto. You want to have relatively small distance between both feet. So your pelvis is in between both feet. Then we're going to the foot that's on the step, press down through the knuckles of the toes, the base of the toes, and through the forefoot. Your weight is over the forefoot rather than in the heel. And you're going to shift your weight forwards, so focusing on pressing down through the knuckles of the foot that's on the step. Shifting your weight forwards to try and get your hips and pelvis over the foot. And your other foot will probably stay touching the ground, but you've not really got much weight in it. You're shifting forwards. Don't really think about the back foot. You're thinking all about the front foot. You might feel a bit wobbly when you get to the end here, and then you come backwards again. So we're just shifting forwards and backwards, trying to get the hips and pelvis all the way forwards over the forefoot. And as you do this, take your hand and just place it behind the bony bit on the side of your hip, into the kind of softer muscle here. And as you shift forward, see if you can start to feel things switching on and then switching off again. So that's your gluteal muscles, your glute med and your glute min, underneath your fingers, doing a bit of work, stabilizing your hips and pelvis, and then switching off again. So we can do this 5, maybe 10 times in a row, just to get a sense of awareness of what's going on. And then you might just want to do it on one side if you're particularly aware you've got a one-sided problem, but getting a bit of an awareness on both sides would definitely be helpful. So switch over, do it on the other foot. 10 times, 5 to 10 times, but multiple times through the day. And you can then take that new awareness and build it into other exercises, like doing a squat, seeing if you can really sense when your glutes are switching on and what other movements or feelings you need to get in your legs to get that switching on to happen. Okay, so you You can take this into your life and see if you can get your glutes to wake up a little bit more.